Okay, you're not the host.
Yeah, okay. I need to go to join again.
Just text him.
Okay.
Yes, but before you buy two big deal things.
Hello, go. The guy Apukwana also, is it his network that is fluctuating or he left?
I think he
Hello?
was trying to call me. He was trying to call me.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, you can get him if he's trying to call you to join back now. I saw him here now. I was just waiting,
He's
trying to get.
joining. He's joining, I think. You know, when they make a call like that, the move goes off.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So I would start now. I hope he joins. Yeah, so the primary purpose of our meeting today is just to go through those questions with you guys. But before then, I would want to know your progress on it, your progress level on it. What were you able to do, and what are the challenges you faced, basically?
Not made any progress, so I honestly.
I thought you guys made mention of working together. What of the Chris?
Yeah, I tried to when I called him to him too, he himself was like he was like no progress. Well, I don't know. I guess he will join now. So but what happened? He was
Do you want to try to reach him again, or we should just continue?
well, let me reach him now. Hi, Chris. Okay, he has not picked.
Hi, Christopher.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah,
Don't pick. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
good morning. How are you doing today?
I am not doing too bad, but I am I'm battling with the course with the assignment.
Okay,
Um,
good. So, what is your progress level, and do you want to share the challenge you're facing?
the challenge. I don't know what to do. Come on, man. I don't know if I wasn't a part of the class that you guys did um like a actual an actual presentation on that, but you know, I don't, because I'm figuring that we need to use some Linux or something to do these things, right?
No, this particular one, we don't need Kali Linux. We just need a server and window clients, basically. Maybe two clients, two window 10, or yeah, as the case may be, as you want to achieve that.
Yeah. So I don't even know that. I know what in relation, like my research in relation to what is required um for that security system and all those things. But I'm really not putting together what needs to be done, because even the Windows clients and those things, I'm not even sure what to do. You know, I am lost. I'm lost.
Okay, no problem. As I said earlier to go, the main aim of our meeting today is for me to address those questions, right, and give
What you are
clarity
saying
there.
that what
So I'll
the
proceed
guy
right
said.
away
So
so we
when you
can
it said,
meet up with
can
time.
you again correct me?
Yeah.
I'll start by sharing that question.
She can do US though, you know, she could have give them $5 US, so US not even
So
matter.
we go
That
through
is
the
an
question
option.
and
Like,
then
have we ever done an exercise like this before?
So that
yeah.
is the off.
Okay.
Uh
I
as
don't think I don't think in my group I did it.
basically everything
No,
on
you can
the
do the little
on
chip
the
parts,
on the
US would not
work
get for
has
free.
been done in the
That's why
class.
you say get 10 and you can do
Except
the
one more thing I
option you get if
added
you could get
just and which I explained just to top up to you guys' knowledge was the pink cat. That was more like okay, something I explained. I know I didn't show you guys.
All right. They said
And
that everything has been done, but um I have been looking through the modules, and I am not seeing where. I know we did an exact. We know we did something about the command line. That's the only thing I'm remembering we have done in relation to doing something on a computer. But as I said, in my group, um, I did not have a Zoom meeting, or I wasn't in a Zoom meeting that we did an example of doing this. If you get what I mean.
yeah, no problem, Chris.
Yeah.
I would work on that now. So I'll quickly excuse myself and do a quick restart on my system because I'm trying to open the assignment now and it's not opening. So I will just want to restart my system to boot it to normal. You guys should just stay cool. In just few minutes, I would join back.
All right, no problem.
In
Okay.
a matter, you go on and pick up your medication at the pharmacy, and you go on around and the market and get the stuff them way, like the chocolate tea and them stuff there. So may I ask you something, $20 when they spend, and leave it on it or you pull it
Yeah,
out?
Stanley.
Hi,
Stanley.
how are you?
I'm not bad, not bad. All right. Miss, I see Nicora calling. Hello?
Much is in
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
$20 then, sir?
Nicora is calling me. I'm not sure.
No, don't pick, because if you pick, you will go
No,
off.
not the online bank.
Yeah, I'm saying that cause I remember them going on breaks and those things. I have been, I have not, I don't think I miss any like Zoom classes, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not, no, there was no, like an example, no exercise that we did within class that covered this.
No, I think he did it individually, but the problem then was as he was doing it, we did not do it, So it wasn't like a practical for us that we had the Windows server on our system. Then as he was doing it, we were following. I think I followed up once, but
Oh, maybe that
like
was the day when my system crashed.
yeah, I followed up once, but the comprehensive
Yeah,
the comprehensive one is, I think if he's doing it, we are doing it, then
it would. Yeah,
we get it. Yes, that Windows server, as he's doing, then we are doing, then at least we will have some idea.
yeah.
How is Shanti?
Shanti, Shanti is talking to her daughter, her mom. She's doing okay so far. You know,
Okay.
Say username
she
Just tell her, maybe I'll call her
Shanti,
later after class or later today or tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. Good
Man,
to.
I slept around 3.
Oh, really? 3 in the morning.
Yes, this morning.
Oh, you came in. Oh, you came in late.
Yeah, I came in late, then I had some guys were calling me then, so many other stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm here now.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the project, right? Hardening a domain environment consisting of unsecured Windows Server 2019 Standard Edition and a Windows 10 Enterprise system. Okay,
Yeah.
so and the objective is actually of this project is to design and secure a local area network LAN that include an unsecured Windows Server 2019 configured as domain controller with Active Directory and functioning as a file server. That is two functionality alongside a Windows 10 Pro workstation joined to the domain. The project involves evaluating the initial configuration of both the host and domain environment, identify vulnerability, and implement hardening measures based on the researched and configuration assessment outputs. It's more like the objective, the summary of everything we're gonna be doing in this project. It's kind of summarized in this objective. So it's kind of all these other questions by trying to attempt or answer these questions, you would learn, you'll figure out you've actually achieved the objective of this project, Yeah, so question one is to set up a Windows Server 2019 as a domain controller and file server. So we'll do that. And over the week, I kind of formatted my system, which is good. Why I said it's good, it's going to help me start afresh. Else I would have just been on the environment already, and then we guys might not see some difficulties you guys might face while trying to set up the environment itself. So doing the environment from scratch, I think is best for you guys. So I will do that now. So my first aim, which is my first question, is the server configuration, right? To set up a Windows Server 2019, right? After setting that up, the next thing I need to do is to make it a domain controller and a file server, right? So before initiating that, I know I've done this several times with you and I've explained this domain controller. So domain controller is making a particular server your domain controller means you're giving it a role of central managing your whole resources. So in that instance, domain controller helps you to manage your what? Your domain environment. It helps you to manage your resources in a central location. So when you spin a server and you decide to make it your domain controller, it means you want to give that server the ability to be able to manage your environment, your domain environment. I hope that is clear. And the file server, just as the name implies, is the server that helps to keep your files, your folder and others, basically, as the name implies, right? And then that is what we want to achieve now. So let's start up that. I have my virtual box or VMware, Oracle VirtualBox. You can decide to use VMware depending on which of them you're familiar with. I've explained what VirtualBox is. It kind of gives you ability to run system, to run another operating system on your current device, right? Because we are trying to spin up a server now and we want to do this on our device, right? So VirtualBox helps you to actualize that virtualization. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and remember, I reached out to you in relation to it. I've been trying to, because I have the Oracle VirtualBox, right? That's the only thing we need. We don't need the Linux.
No, is all what we need. But then Kali Linux is as well a virtual machine. I believe you don't have a different server. You're using everything in your one device. So I can decide to spin it here as well, to bring it here. But for this project, which we just read the objective, we really don't need that. And so what we need basically in this project is a Windows Server 2019 and then a host, right? Basically one or two hosts. Yeah, but for this illustration, I'm gonna use one host because this device is not so big of space, so it would keep us all. Yeah, so I'll start by adding my Windows Server 2019. I'll click on new. These are the things I expect you guys to do and document them. But yeah, you guys were unable to do that, so I'll click on new. And
all right, I think maybe when you downloaded this, the day when we downloaded this, my computer chipped out. So it was at the same day you went over this. At the last part of the class.
Yeah, I think I did that day. We kind of did that. I remember trying to setting that up on Ugo's system. I remember that. And then before then, we have as well did this. We've discussed this. I've showed the class how to add users, how to do those. I know at some point in this assignment, it's to create, to create user, this, and this. We've done through all those things, the organization. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, we've done that in the previous classes.
Yeah,
but let's continue here now. So what we want to do now is to spin up our Windows Server 2019. So I will name this Server 2019. That's the name of the server spinning up. I'll pick my iOS image. Which is that this is my server image. So I would.
All right.
Why do you pick up your server image?
Yeah, because you need the image. You need to have the image to run the. It's just like the operating system. That is what we are calling image in virtual environment. You need to, when you get a new computer and it's not having operating system, there is no live in it. So you need to run operating system on it before you then start interacting with the computer, right? So yeah, we are calling that image because it is an iOS file. It's an image file that you can run on a virtual box or a virtual machine or a VMware. If it is a real computer, you will not be running and kind of that on it. You run a real operating system, right? But in VirtualBox, you run image and others easily.
So go back a second. Just go back. So you said you have an ISO image and you copy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I started with naming my virtual machine.
Navy.
What do I want the name to be? Server 2019.
Yeah.
Then this is the folder. If I'm not okay with this, I can change it. Where the folder will be created in my device. It will be created on my C drive, on the user chi. This is the name of the user where it will be created, and VirtualBox. If I'm not okay with this, I can change it and put it in a different location.
Yeah.
Then I selected my ISO image. I have already downloaded this image. I shared this image with you guys as well. I selected it to upload it to this virtual box, right? Then I clicked next. That was what I did basically. I
Okay.
unchecked this box because I want to do it myself. I don't want the computer to be doing it for me. If you want it to do without you interfering, you click this box, it will go on
Okay.
that way. But I want to go through the process with you guys, right? This proceed unattended installation, but I want to attend to it, right? I want to go through it with you guys. So I unchecked this and I clicked
Okay,
this.
so sorry. Then sorry, one thing. This that image. So
Yeah. Where you gave us that image?
no, I think he has given us. But what I was asking is, do we have to like this one you gave us? So if we are doing it on our own, do we have to download it or?
Yeah, you have to download it on your system. That is when you will now be able to find it through this place. You know, you see me, I already have it here, but if I'm not having it here, I will click on others and go to my system. You see my system, this is my system. I will go,
Yes.
if it's in my desktop, I will go there. If it's, I know it is in my download, you see, I will go there and I will select it. This is the two. I already have the Windows server and I have the Windows 10, which you guys have. And I'm having it here because I downloaded it. You see it's still on my download. Can you see download? PC
Yeah.
download.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
downloaded it. So I will now pick it from my download here. I will select it here and click open. Then it comes here. You see? Then I can then proceed. That's
Yeah,
the only
and then for we to download it, which we don't need to go to, we just go in and look for a virtual
ISO.
ISO.
You can easily do it through the link which I already shared. You just click download or you browse randomly on the web and you
Yes,
Sure.
search.
I know the link. I was just asking about browsing it,
Can I
just in
ask
case
a
if we are doing
question?
it.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, you can go.
All right. When I'm just wondering, where did you share the information? Because you know where I got the coursework information from was from the WhatsApp, right? From a WhatsApp, from Nicora, I think I saw it. And I'm wondering where do I actually find the information that you guys sent in relation to this coursework? Because I didn't
Brother,
get any
what
image.
information are you talking about, Chinedu?
The
Aside from that,
information in relation to the image and those
Is
things.
asking where we actually shared the link for this image to download our
yeah, where
server
did you
and
share
our.
it?
Yeah, we did that on the class chat and we did that in a file
Gosh.
that was shared to them.
Okay, so
Even
it's
if
not
I can.
this. Sorry, hold on. It's not this most recent assignment, or what? Where? At what time did you share the image? Is my question. Because I only got a Word document from you, which I shared with the class.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
maybe.
when we shared the assignment. We've already shared that. We did several class with them sharing that link, you know.
Okay, so okay, so
This
it's
one
like
was the one that was
past
shared
class.
before I was able to download. It was
Yeah,
shared that day. They downloaded for me, and it was shared before. I think he shared it twice or thrice. I know
we've shared
on
it
the
at the
class.
initial beginning of the class. We shared it again at the middle. We shared it that day. I worked remotely with
Okay.
Ugo.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
so
we did not
it
share
might
it.
be difficult to know if they needed to go use that image, right?
Yeah,
Except you
but
refer them to it.
Yeah, but in the write up, right? If you've followed the class and you've seen what we've been doing, you should know that was the link we are referring to, right?
Yeah, it would be hard for someone to know if they, you understand
Yeah,
where I'm
so,
coming from, though.
however, nonetheless, in the class, when I gave the assignment, I explained that and I was like, you can always get this link online. You know, I'm just the one that downloaded it and I'm making it easy, but it does not mean you cannot download it. Let me show you. You can download it online. Like, you can literally get anything you want online.
Okay. But is this the only link or image that you wanted them to go source externally, just in case we need to get
the
more?
two link I wanted them to work with was given to them, which is a server and a Windows 10. But I want to just show you how to get this online yourself, so you don't rely on link I shared.
Thank you.
Like, you'll be able to get that online,
Yeah, sure.
whatever you want.
Okay, go ahead.
I will have search of this download. So I opened, I believe you guys saw what I type here. Like, basically, I'm interested in 2019. That was why I typed 2019. If I'm interested in other years, right, I'm just going to type the year here. I say download Windows Server 2019 iOS for free. Like, I don't want to pay, right? That was what I'm saying, for free, because some of these things they might need you to pay for it actually. So, and I clicked the first link, clicked another link. So I have that here directly. So whichever I want to download now, in which language, I just click on it. I'm using a 64-bit, whatever, right? In this case, if I'm interested in downloading it, this is what I'm gonna click. Download, and it's gonna download. This will download the iOS i5 for me, you know. Yeah. So it's just straightforward. You see? If we want to check on the reviews for this, like,
So sorry, this will download the server. What about the image? Does it come with the image as well?
Yeah, that is the image. That is the iOS image.
Okay, the image
This is what we need to get the VirtualBox, set up our machine on the VirtualBox. So I just need you to have the understanding. Like, what I figured out, you guys don't kind of understand what we have been doing. That's why you kind of find this thing as being complex, you know. You need to understand how it works. You have your machine, your physical machine. You want to run other machines on them. You don't want to buy different machines. What you need to achieve that is a virtual box. And we've installed our virtual box. There are other types of virtual box. There are VM virtual machine and VirtualBox Oracle. Then when you install that, then you now think of, I've gotten myself another machine now with my VirtualBox. So what I need now is to run the operating system which I want to install on that machine. In that case, now you are talking about installing an iOS image. So if I'm interested in installing a Windows 10, a Windows 7, a Windows Server, I then go and download my exact interest. I download it and install it on my VirtualBox or virtual machine, VMware, as the case may be. I don't know if we've gotten that now.
Yeah, yes.
Yes,
So, but
I understand.
if you download, okay, sorry, Christopher, go ahead.
No, I was just answering him. I understand what he's saying. Whatever any machine that you're doing, that you're planning to run to use to install something on, you can do a virtual run through it before you install it on the company's machine, right?
Yeah, but
So
you should not do this on the company's machine. Sorry, you mentioned company machine. This should be done on your personal machine.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
So for real life company situation now, it means maybe you might have two systems. Like you already now you know what you are doing. Then maybe there are two systems or three systems. So you have two systems with two different operating systems. So you can use those systems to try them.
Very correct. In real life, if you're dealing with a company now, and maybe you're working as an IT person, right, and you have issues, like there was when I had issue in one of the policy I was trying to do, and I needed a new system, and then I was not getting a new system to check if what I have done is working. I just carried my personal system. I know my personal system is not in that domain, so it can serve as a new system. Because I cannot be waiting when after setting the policy, I cannot be waiting for me to then have a new system to test. I just carried my personal system and added it to the domain, right? And immediately I removed it. So it just gives you the purpose of this thing we are doing, the aim of it, it gives you an environment to test whatever you are doing. Maybe I'm doing policy or I'm doing whatever. I test it. And because it's a virtual environment, I can easily delete it, remove it, whatever I want to do. And it's not like a new system, a real system that I'm kind of deleting. Though it's real, but it's virtual, you know. It gives you that virtual environment to simulate what you are doing, to test what you are doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this case now, if I click here, it's gonna download this image, which I have here. That was how I downloaded it. There is no magic on it. You just click it there, it downloads the image for you. You see? And so once you have that image, you then spin up this. You remember I click new, then you guys didn't try this at all. So it's becoming more hard for me to explain. I'm expecting you guys should have played. And I don't know, I know I did this several times in the class, and I even did with to-go device, but
well, let me just say something.
okay.
I was in the class. What would be good is if we get like home like a assignment prior to now, saying you want us to do this and try that, to see where we how to actually maneuver the system and if we really understood what to do, because these are just things in front of us, right? The virtual machine, I personally did not know the reason for downloading this virtual box on my computer. I did not get the chance to use it. So I was just wondering, if prior to now we could have gotten something to just do an exercise to do. And
Okay, so
yeah.
let's go on with this now. I hope this will help greatly. So we have this now, we have this, right? So I'm gonna click on next. I filled in the name, I brought in the
You didn't
iOS.
proceed with unattended installation again?
Yeah, if you want, but I don't want, because I want to go through this with you guys, right? If I want to click on this thing and leave my computer and go and be doing some other things, I would have picked that option.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want that, so I uncheck it. I click on next. So I can, at this point, I need to specify my virtual hardware. This takes space directly from your computer, the hardware of your computer. So this will be taking 50 gig of my computer, which is big, and this computer is not having much space, but I'm gonna leave it because I don't want to get so much dragged when I'm using it. But after this sample with you guys, I will definitely delete it because it's gonna make my whole system very slow, So it's taking the RAM for my system to be 2 gig, 2 gig, yeah, and it's taking the hard disks to be 50 gig, which is big for me. Yeah, so I will leave that. On default. I'm not changing anything. I'll click on this. It's just giving me summary of what will go on the device, what I've chosen. That I want to install this server. I name this, and I'm installing 50 gig hard disk space, right? It's just telling me what if I don't want any of this, I will go back. But if I'm okay with what I have here, I'll click on next, right? I'll click on next. I'm okay with what I have there. So I have this interface now. this is unattended, right? So I need to click on start to initiate the installation of my iOS. This is all what is going to run through once I click on start, by which I can go through this and do the setup, you know, if I want to change anything, but I'm not interested in changing anything now. So I'll do start. It's powering the VM up. I see the progress.
Where did you click this?
I click start. I click start. Can you see my cursor? Can you see the
start button?
Can you see my cursor? Can you see my mouse? Like, look at my mouse.
I can't see it. Okay, yes, I can see it now.
Look at my mouse. Look how it's moving. By the left side, up corner, my left side. Can you see this button? The start is on green.
No, I can't see the start button.
Look at my cursor.
I can only see the server 2019.
So that button at the top says show. Is that the start button?
Yes, that is start button. That is the green button. Start.
But it's written show there.
Yeah, but it starts. I know that.
Yeah, but right? for me, I'm not seeing that button.
You need to restart your device.
Are you seeing the screen of this record of this lesson, Ugo? Can you see your screen? Is your screen working?
Yes,
Ugo,
I'm seeing my...
I'll cancel this process and go back, and so you see where that thing is that it starts. I'll close this process now. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Can you see what I have on my left-hand side? I have new, my left corner top. I have new, I have open, I have setting, I have discard.
No, I'm not seeing those things. I'm not seeing those things. Let me use my phone.
That means you are not seeing my screen. Christopher, can you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see this button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Screen is too, maybe you zoomed in or you need to zoom out or whatever it is.
Maybe zoom out, Stanley. Stanley, you're using your phone? You can turn your phone sideways. Turn your phone.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah.
You can see it now?
Yes, I can see it now.
You can see my top left corner. I have
new,
I have
yes, I've seen it. I've seen it now. I can see it. Before I wasn't seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll proceed now. I'll click on this start button. Like this start button. After those setup, I've gone through all this thing. I'm okay, right? I'll click on this start button now. Yeah, please, at any point you do not see anything I'm saying, just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what we have here now. Saying Windows Server 2019, which is what we want to install. The language to install English, I'm okay with that. The time and current format time, I'm okay with it. US format, whatever. If I'm not okay with any of them, I can change it. So I'm okay. I'm gonna click next. Can see the next button, right? Next.
Yes.
Do you want to install this? Yes, that is what I want to do. I'll click on install now. So what do I want to install here? Do I just want to install this? Or I want to install standard with desktop view? Like you can install just this view. This first view gives you the ability to be using code and be using PowerShell, which we did, right? I'm not interested in that. I want to make life easy for myself so that I will be seeing the graphics, the desktop. So I'll go for the second option. If you're okay with the first one, you can do that. After all, you've done command, so you know how to use command. But me, I just want a soft life. So I will accept the license that you're supposed to read through this, but man, we don't read it sincerely. I will just accept it and go. If you want, you can take your time, read through all of them, and you see what you're accepting, right? It's good. It's best you do that. So which type of installation do I want to do? I always prefer personally. This is a personal decision to go on custom so I can adjust things the way I want. If you want, you can do the first one, but me, I always pick on custom so I can have more power or more control of what I'm doing, right? So I have my 50 gig hard disk here, and that is where I want to install it. I'll click on if I want to do anything, if I want to format this, if I want to whatever, there is a lot of things you can do. If I want to split my disks to create space, but I'm not interested in all those things. I will just click on next. You can see my next button. So my installation has just started, installing my Windows Server 2019. Yeah, so this will just roll through in just a couple of minutes. Then we're done with that. Yeah, it might even prompt me to set my password at some point. I will do that after this short process. Once I'm done with this, it means I've set up my Windows Server 2019. So the next thing I need to do is to prompt my Windows Server 2019 to be my what? My domain controller and my server, my file server, right? And I explained what it means when you are trying to prompt a server to be your domain controller. It means you are saying, hey, I want you to be the one, to be the machine where I will centrally manage my domain environment. That is what I'm basically saying when I'm saying make a server your domain controller. Just as the name implies, domain controller. If you say something is controller, it means it's controlling something, right? So it's just like centrally managing your domain. That is what we're just gonna do when we say make it a domain controller, right? We just want to make it to be able to centrally manage that domain for us. So if we wanna do any changes, any whatever we wanna do, we just go there and do it, and it affects the whole domain. You don't need to be doing it system by system, system by system. It gives you the ability to run your Active Directory. The moment you are making a domain, you're making a domain your domain controller, you're making a machine, a server your domain controller, it means you are spinning in your Active Directory. That is what it as well mean. You're making that domain, that computer, that server to be your domain controller. You're spinning it to be your Active Directory. And the benefit of Active Directory is centrally manage resources for you. It's centrally manage and share your resources. You'll be able to delegate which group you want to give these resources, which group you want to give that resources.
So basically there's once you set this server as your domain controller, there's no way anyone can use another server to do that unless you change that permission.
You're very correct. Once you
Okay.
set this server as domain controller, any permission, anything you set, and if the computer is added to that domain, we'll do that as well, right? We'll spin another device, which is a Windows 10 computer, and we'll add it to this domain, which we have created here. So whichever permission, that is what we do in real life environment, real office environment. You see if you've worked with some companies, some organization, when they give you their laptop, you have restrictions to what you can do. Some makes some setup that you cannot even install application on your laptop which a company assigned to you without the knowledge of the IT person. You know, if you want to install an application on the laptop, the IT person will need to give you permission. He or she will need to put in the admin details for you to be able to run an application. So it's because that computer is added to a domain controller that is managing it. You can do that using a work group, but most times it's hard for company with many devices. So you need a domain controller to be able to manage them easily without any stress. You centrally manage them. If you want to push any updates, it's only when, or any security thing, it's only when you have a domain, and then you then progress into talking about having Intune. That is when you can then manage some things. Even with Active Directory, there are some restrictions of what you can centrally manage. That is when you then bring Intune. Intune is like a Microsoft service that helps you as well to manage endpoints very well. What do they refer to as endpoints? Your computer. You know, so Active Directory does that, but to a certain level. It helps you manage resources. It helps you manage user. It helps you manage your computer, but to a certain level, you know. And
Okay.
yeah. So if
what's the name of the thing you said? Intune?
Intune. Yeah.
Okay.
Is a Microsoft service that helps you manage your endpoints more advanced. Said so many things for you. If you've worked in some organization and you observe that you cannot even copy file from their device. I don't know if you've observed that mostly with banks and others. Like if you're working in a device, you'll be seeing everything. But the moment you try to send out file away from that computer, if you plug in a flash or whatever, immediately it goes out of that computer, it becomes encrypted. If you plug it in another device that is not their complete device, you will not be seeing anything. You understand? Those are policy, those are settings. And those kind of settings, you don't do it on one computer, you do it on a central computer that push it to all those other computers. You know? Another good example is every system, basically, every laptop will need a Microsoft Word, for example, right? A Microsoft Suite, a Microsoft Office, which makes up of Microsoft Word, Excel, called them PowerPoint, Access, and what's the name of them? So you need those things to work in the computer, right? And most times your new computer don't have that, right? When you bought computer, you needed to install Office, right? So that you can edit, right? You remember that? Yeah.
Yes.
So if you are in an organization, you don't want to be doing that manually on one computer, you know? You don't want to be doing that one computer, you set this, one computer. No, you just go to your central management and you install that in there, and any computer that joins that domain picks up that thing, those settings which you have placed there. By the virtue of fact that that computer is in that domain, that computer has no any other option than to be complying with those policies. And that is where compliance comes in. You'll be able to even see computers that are not compliant, and you can set some other mad policy, like if this computer go out of compliance, take the computer off from my domain, because the computer is now a risk source to me. If it's not compliant to what I want it to have, then it should be thrown out of my domain. You see?
Okay, two questions. So like those, how do you join? Like if you have a big organization, how do you bring in different computers? Like how do you make it easily that you get them all to be in the domain? Like
Yeah, how do you add the
Very good
computers
question.
to the
Very
domain?
good question. Very good question. We are going to, I do not plan to do this, but because I'm enjoying this conversation now, I will show you guys what we are doing now is what we refer to as the on-prem. Is what we are setting up now is what we refer to as the on-prem Active Directory.
on-premise, okay.
On-premise, meaning is in your house, is in your physical company, is in your company, gong. Like you have a server room in your company, right? You have a server room sitting in your company, and you are doing those setup there to centrally manage your users. We call that on-prem. And the other one to on-prem is what we refer to as the cloud Active Directory.
Yeah, cloud active. Yeah, now it's making more sense.
I've showed you guys.
Now all those names are making sense now.
I've showed you guys these things before.
You've shown us, but it didn't make sense. Now it's making sense.
Yeah.
So what we will do today here now is we'll do I'll show you guys, by the time I'm done with this server, I'll show you how to add a computer, which I'm calling a Windows 10 client. So this my server. I'll show you how to add it. And I will show you as well how to navigate the setup that I have for my cloud, that when a new system is signed up, it automatically takes in and join that Active Directory itself.
Okay.
You don't need to be doing those things manually.
One by one. Okay.
Yeah. I will show you the process. Let's go on.
Yeah, but that all those additions are still on-prem, not on cloud.
Yes, for here we'll do everything we're gonna be doing here now will be on-prem. When I want to change to cloud, I will notify you guys. In fact, I will log in with another different system. I will log in with my office device and show you guys.
Okay.
What I'm logged in with now is my personal device, where I'm doing this setup with you guys now. It's my personal device. But I will show you a real live scenario of my office device of what we are doing here as well there.
Okay, then one more question, please. So, but in an organization, we don't need to do this virtual stuff because I mean, like everything is there.
It's now
like
depends
the system.
on the. It now depends now when you resume a role. They will. This thing is conversation. They will tell you what they need, and that is the good part. I want you guys to take away from this class today. I don't want you to just take away that Chinedu showed me how to do this. No, I want you to take away that when you're faced with real life example, you will be faced with several things, but you need to understand how things work. That will help you be able to use the resources which you have. We have the internet, we have the chat GPT, but if you don't understand how it works in general in your head, it will be hard for you to provide solution to those things.
Yeah. The thing is, when maybe this is just to set up something from scratch, like a company that doesn't have this
That is what I'm saying. You know, when you resume in a company, they will first thing they will do for you is to explain the current state of the infrastructure to you. They are obliged to tell you that. Except if it's a nonsense company, they will not tell you that you'll be the one figuring that yourself. I've worked in one company like that. Like they don't have any documentation, they don't have, and maybe you did not meet the last IT person. You need to figure out the whole infrastructure. But most times when you're working in a good company, you come in and you have documentation of their current infrastructure. You look at it, you go through it and see, do these people have domain already? If they do, is it on-prem or is it on the cloud? You check, you see those things and see what they have already existing. You go through their policy, see what is already applicable. Then that is only when you don't know what you need to do, how you need to improve it. So if you come to an organization, and for example, my organization is this system which we are working, and you look at it, you see there is no domain, nothing. You see that I'm trying to set up my server. So you know you need to start up from there and set up the server, then now add the device which you have in the organization to the domain. But if you come to the organization and you see it's already running, domain is running, like my current organization, which I have now, they have Active Directory already running, they have Intune running. I just looked at that and I saw, okay, you have this friend, you have this friend. What I need to do, I started doing my work there. I started setting up policy and pushing out application from my Intune. You see?
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to be ready for the real life. Like, be ready. You need to get the basics first. That will help you to be ready for the real life. And then you can handle things. Once they come, you take them up. You know?
Yeah.
Take them up. Yeah. The good part is Windows environment, Microsoft environment, you have solution to everything you want online. You know, it is not a closed environment. It is an open source environment, meaning you will definitely see, you just need to research more. You will definitely see the solution. And good grace is chat. We have chat now. It makes work easy. If it's before, you only have Google to be struggling with. But now you have chat. If you're confused, if I'm confused now on this point, which I am at this thing, all I need to do is to screenshot this thing. I won't write one word. I will just give it to chat. Chat will analyze it for me and tell me where I am, what I need to do next, to complete this process. You know, you understand that? So it makes life easy for you. You need to be able to utilize that. When I went for my interview in my last role, one of the things I know that made the VP to be convinced, I told him, I've been practicing this for years, but then I don't know everything. That I don't know everything, but I know where to get the answer of things I want. I know I can use my modern chat, I can use online, I can search for answers. I don't need to know everything. Right? But you need to know where you can get it.
And how to get it.
Things and how to get it. You don't need to know everything. Good, no problem. But you know how to get it.
Let me give an example. Like now, I'm having some understanding. Like before now, when I tried to do the assignment, and even when I went to chat, I didn't know what to do or how to do it. So I just knew that it was a roadblock. But now, like those on-prem, they are making sense for me now. Into like all those things now. Like as we are doing it practically now, I can really understand most of those things you've been telling us.
Yeah, okay. So now let's continue with this. I want to set password. It needs me to customize an administrator. I will set password. You can set whatever, something you always remember. For all these papers, for me, for these test papers, so I won't mess up my head. I will use the same password for everything. So at any point I say password, I know that is the only thing I've used in this project. I've not used any other thing. My server is up and running. This is my server. This is my server on my on-prem. It's up and running. So I'll put in my password, which I just typed in.
I just saw you click something to get you to type in your password. Did you click on input?
Very good observation. That is good, right? You see, I clicked on input and I clicked on keyboard, then I clicked on insert, control, alternate, delete. So if you don't want to do this, like I find it easy for myself, then you make, because you know this is a virtual environment and I'm using my mouse, which I'm using for my physical device for it. So there are some other settings which I can do. I can start going to settings now to do that. Okay, whatever I click on my mouse should take effect directly on this virtual machine. But then sometimes it might be then confusing. So I leave it to, okay, this is my virtual machine. When I click, I know I'm clicking on my direct computer, physical computer. At some point, you might need to do it when you need to do those settings. If we need, we will go through it and set it. When we will need to drag things from our physical machine to our virtual machine. But most times I don't do that. I just use this fast way here. I click on the insert. I click on the insert keyboard, and I use the keyboard of the virtual machine to type. When I click on insert, control, that is as if I'm typing this on my physical computer. Control, delete. So that kind of give me the ability to impute that, and I then provide my password, right, which is what it was asking me for at that point. Yeah, good observation. Please, if you observe anything I do and you're not clear, ask question. I need you guys to understand this by the end
just
of this
take this one back again, please.
Okay, what do I need to take back here now?
This input, this one, I wanted to get it well. Why did you do it?
When I started my computer, it was just showing me. Let me see if I can log out. Just a moment. Let me do restart. Let me restart this.
Yeah.
So you see it. This was the interface I had when I completed my setup. And it's on this interface, I cannot basically do anything. And I can see on this screen saying, press Ctrl or delete to unlock. But I know this is my virtual machine. And if I'm pressing this on my physical machine, it might not be working directly. So what do? I just clicked on, I know this already, that I know I have inputs here. So I click on my inputs, I click on my keyboard, and I see my insert control alternate delete, which is as good as I'm pressing control alternate delete on the virtual machine. Remember, this is a virtual machine. This is not our real machine. Even though we are seeing everything real, like a computer is server, but it's virtual, it's inside my machine.
Yes, and you are using a soft keyboard.
Yeah, so I will type in this, my insert control alternate delete now, and it will give me access to then put my password. I set my password just about some minute ago, right? I'll type in the same password which I put it. That was what we did there. So it will then put up, this is my machine, my brand new machine, Windows Server 2019. You see? Let's go back to the question. That was what the question asked us to do. The question said what? Set up what? Windows Server 2019. Then the next thing the question said is to what? Take this to a domain controller and a file server. I'm not much interested in this file server, but I just wanted you guys to do that, just to know how to pick more in case you need to make. Most times in real life, you hardly see one computer, one server being your domain controller and file server. They normally split this. So, but I just wanted you guys to have the knowledge of that we have different service, and you can decide to set up one server to be different server, you know. But you can decide most times in real life, your domain controller remains your domain controller. You don't use that server for another purpose. Yeah. So let's go back to our work. The next thing is to make this server our domain controller, and I've explained what it means to make it your domain controller. Simply means I want to spin up make this server to be able to centrally control my domain. That means I want to bring in my ADDS service, which is my Active Directory. You know, that is what I want to do. So I would go through that now. How do I do this? This is my server environment. You can see Server Manager dashboard. Anyhow, you can decide to click on it here, add role. It's as good as I want to add more functionality, more feature to this server. I want to make it my domain controller. That is what I want to achieve, right? Anyhow you want to do it, you do it. I can click on this directly here. I can click on manage. I can click on tools. Like, I can get that anywhere. Just click on that. I click on manage. I click on the same thing. This add role feature is the same thing I have here. I click on it. So you want to read through this. It's always the same thing, just telling you many stories that this help you to add feature or whatever.
So you click manage.
Sorry?
So you click manage and then you click add roles and features?
Yes. I can decide to click it from here as well.
Yeah.
Whatever, anywhere, I can decide to search for it and click on it. Whatever, anything you're comfortable with, do. But the main thing is know what you want to do, that you want to add a role to this domain now. You want to add to this server. You want to make it your domain controller. That is what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll click on
this. Okay, so basically that's the role, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll click on this. I'll read through this. I'm okay with it. I'll click on OK, next. Yeah. I want to add role-based or feature-based installation. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Click on this. Yeah, so which machine do I want to do that on? This is my server. You see, this is the server which I just installed. And this is the IP address of the server. If this is not it, I would have, if I had more than one server, I would have selected a different server. But in this case, I only have one server, so it's selected already. Click on this. Yeah, so this is the point where I describe the role I want to add to this server now. You see, we have different roles. You see, it's already having a file and storage service, which is the file server. It's serving, dubbing up as the file server. So any other role I want to add, I can make this server my DHCP server. You know what DHCP means? I should have added that for you if I remember. DHCP is just Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It helps to distribute IP address. If I make this server my DHCP server, it means every computer that adds to my device, it automatically assign IP address to that computer. But that is not my interest. I'm just trying to explain that for you. And you know what the DNS server is? Domain name server. Most times, my other clients will see that if it pops up, I will explain that. Let me just do our aim here now. The aim here now is to do what? To make this my domain controller, and which I will get through my what? My Active Directory domain service. I'll click on it. You see? So I've added what? I've had the feature that require for Active Directory domain service, because I know this computer needs to be in domain in Active Directory for me to prompt it, for me to navigate it to be my domain controller, right? If I don't have Active Directory as a role, how do I want to achieve making it my domain controller? So I click on my Active Directory domain service. Am I okay with all these features? You go through it, you read through it. It's telling you that you cannot install this unless you follow this unless the following role service or feature are also installed. Am I okay with them? If I'm okay, I will click on add feature. I'm okay. So
if you're not okay with that, how do you?
If you're not okay with that, you can deselect the ones you are not okay with. Let me go back. Can I go back a step? I want to go back. Just click that.
Just go previous.
Was it? I thought I clicked previous before. Okay.
No.
So yeah, this is it. I selected this server. I clicked on this.
Yeah.
Then I selected this.
Already
selected. Yeah, it's because I've accepted that. Yeah, because I've accepted that, it's not giving me that option of if I'm okay with the feature again.
Okay, I see.
Let me deselect it and select it again. It's not giving me that because I've accepted that already.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, I understand.
That.
Yeah. So how many have you selected now? Just the two, this Active Directory?
And file server, that is the only two that is selected here now, right? Basically, this was selected before I then selected this Active Directory, because I need my Active Directory domain service to prompt it to my domain controller, right?
Yeah.
So I will do my next. Can take your time to read through all these things, gives you more clarity. You see, ADDS, which is Active
information
Domain
about
Service, uses domain controller to give network user access to permitted resources anywhere on the network through a single logon process. You see, that is what we want to achieve. You know, we want to achieve this to be able to centrally manage our resources, our users, our computer. You know, that is the question actually. So I'll click on this. I'm okay with that. That is what I want to achieve.
Which one is group policy management?
Group policy management is the ability to push the policy to your group, like set up a policy on the domain. You see, it's selected by default. I'm not the one that selected it.
Yeah.
It's helps you to manage your policy to the users based on, you can base it based on group, create different group, then manage it the way you want or with the organization standard or procedure. Some organizations have some laid down procedure for some of these things. If you go to some organization like that, you just follow up what they have already. If you go to some other that does not have it, you need to create it based on the demand or based on what is needed. I will give you a good example. In some organization, the printer, for example, the printer that is used by HR, by human resources, it's not used by any other body, by any other team. They kind of see human resources as treating very confidential information. And so they know that someone can print and forget that there. And so they don't want anybody to have the ability to print with that HRO device. You know, so they will just assign, maybe set up a printer and assign it to they will create a group called Human Resource Department or Human Resource Team. And just that Human Resource Team alone, we have access to that particular resource, which is the printer. If you try to print with that printer, you would not be able, because you don't have the access to be able to print with that. So those things are kind of group policy. You see? And I can have again is a good example is the IT team. Most times in an organization, IT team don't have any restriction. They have access to everything. So I can create a group and call it IT team and give them the administrator privilege. So when they come to anything, they can do that. So, but if you are not in that group, if you are not in that IT group, you will not be able to do those things. So by virtue of that, that is what they call group policy. Do you get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll click on next. So it's just telling me, okay, this is the store information, my Active Directory domain service store information about user, computer, and other device on the network. Yeah, that is what it do. Help administrators securely manage this information and facilitate resource sharing and collaboration between users. This was what I was just explaining now, right? You'll be able to manage these resources and everything. Yeah, so I'm okay.
Sorry,
I'm
this
okay with
last part, this Azure Active Directory, a separate
and
online service can
that
provide
is,
simple.
you see, good, it stated it, a separate online service. I will show you guys again, Active Directory, Asium, this Active Directory we are dealing. Remember in our one of the classes, I told you that your Active Directory on-prem is completely different from your Active Directory on cloud.
On cloud, okay.
Yes. Your Active Directory on cloud for Microsoft is what they refer to as Asium Active Directory. You know, it's a separate online service. That is what they are trying to explain to you here. You see, you might be thinking it's Active Directory everywhere. That is my before notion. But when I started seeing, I was like, whoa, this thing is completely different. In Active Directory in cloud, you don't have access to the domain controller. It's only Microsoft that have access to it. So if you are doing anything that requires you to use your domain controller, you need to think twice and think of way around it because you don't have access to it. That alone makes things completely different. It's a completely different service.
It's easier, but it's difficult for you because you don't have full control over it.
It's easy. It's easier, as you said, but you don't have full control over it. You know, for this on-prem, we are the owner. We have control. We can do anything we want to do because we have full control. But for cloud, it's easy, as you said, but you don't have full control over it. But as long as you have the understanding of Active Directory, what it helps you do, this statement here, you can always navigate your way. You can always find your way. You know? Yeah. I'll click on next. So it's telling me to install the following role, service, click install. Yeah, if I want it to restart automatically, restart the design automatically if required. If I want this, I will check it. I don't want it. I don't want it to restart. I will restart it later if I need to. I'll just install. I will install all these things now. Install. So you can see the progress bar now. It will load and complete. Starting my installation, it will load. Just a few minutes.
And sorry, I'm just asking a lot of questions.
Sure. Ask them all. I need you guys to understand this thing very well.
So with on cloud, like using the cloud this thing now, you don't need to. Do you need to have the server? Do you still need to download a VMX if you are still doing cloud?
No, cloud already. If you are doing cloud, you know already you are already in a virtual environment. Cloud is not real for us, even though it is real for those people managing the data center. What do I mean? Everything, every resources you access on cloud, it is just like, you see this way I've spin up this server here now. I can decide to make this server your cloud. You go now, you will then subscribe to me and you will be having access to Active Directory and some other things, and it becomes your cloud. But you don't know where this device is actually residing in, but it resides in a particular data center. So, but you as the user of cloud, you are not interested in where the computer I'm using, where does it reside? I'm not interested in it. I just pay and use the service of that computer. So you don't have interest in how they manage the device. That is the good part of cloud. You don't have interest on how the memory space of the device is.
Yes, that was why it was because of the memory space that I even asked this question now. So if you go on cloud, you will not even have problem of memory space.
There is nothing concerning you with that. The people managing Microsoft or AWS, they are the one to worry their head about that. Your own is just to come, utilize the resources you pay for, and you leave them. You see? So there, it's kind of easier. It makes things easy. So when you see people thinking about cloud, one of the things they will present to you is cost optimization. You don't need to be putting on server. If this is on-prem now, it means I should have a computer running this. But if I'm getting a server in the cloud, there's nothing concerning me with buying a computer. I just go online, do what I want to do. And when I'm tired of doing that, I just cancel my server. Just destroy it. I don't have any concern about buying a service, a computer to do that for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So our feature is actually installing. Almost there.
I'm here trying to get the server, to download the server image. You had clicked on the, I don't know which one again. Is it the buy soft?
You don't want to buy, you want to get a free one, just like what I showed you guys here, right? You want to just type, what did I even type here? Something like this, download Windows Server 2019 ISO for free.
Yeah, I did that. I was looking for the right one to choose.
Yeah, I think I clicked on this first one, this first link here. That was what opened this for me. So you can always download this free. It's free here. Else you want to pay for it. Well, I don't think you really want to pay for this. Then you click on this, download it for free.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is done here. These features are all installed. So I'll close this. So you observe now we've not completed it, right? You know what we are trying to do is to make this the domain controller, right? But we have succeeded in adding the ADDS, which is the Active Directory Domain Service. But then it's showing us this now, saying, yes, we've not completed this. Our aim is actually to make it our domain controller, right? So we then click on this. You see what I clicked? I clicked on this kind of query saying something is not completed. You started something, but you've not completed it, right? We started the process of making this particular server our domain controller, and that is what we want to achieve, but we've not completed it, but we have installed some features. We have installed our ADDS features and others, but we want to achieve the aim of making it our domain controller. So I'll click on this, and I will click on what? Prompt this server to a domain controller. Click on this. Yeah, so it's asking me now that I want to prompt this server to a domain controller, and I've explained severally what I want to achieve with the domain controller, right?
Yeah.
Be able to centrally manage my domain, right? So I have these other options depending on the organization where you are. That is what will determine which option you are picking here. If I am in an organization that already have an existing domain, and I want to add a domain controller to an already existing domain, this my first option will be okay. But that is not our situation here, right? We don't have an already existing domain, do we? No, we don't have. So the second option is add a new domain to an existing forest. I don't have an already existing forest. Forest, let me quickly explain that. It's just collection of domain. So I think this third one resonates more with what we are doing here. I want to create everything new, right? I want to create everything new. So I'll click on this.
But what is forest?
That is what I just explained. Forest is just like a collection of domains.
Okay.
Yeah, but in this case, I'm just interested in one domain. But if I come back now again and I want to make another, I want to create two domain controller here. In my second time, I will not be picking this one because I already have an existing forest now after this one. But for now, This is my first instance. I don't have anything. This thing is saying to existing, to existing. Nothing is existing for me now. I'm starting fresh, right? So this third option sits more with me. And so the third option needs me to, it says specify the domain information for this operation. Good. I want to create a new domain. So you guys should suggest what should be our domain name?
Cyber.
Cyber. Just cyber.
Cybersecurity domain.
Good. Cybersecurity.com. So my domain is cybersecurity.com. We are all okay with this. Good. Most times you use this. This should be the domain of your company, right? Whatever company you are working, you just type it there. But yeah, we don't have a company. We're just showing.
Okay, that means that is the root. So because I have this thing for the company, then maybe if I understand what the new domain to an existing means now is that this is the general one. Then maybe if you want the one for the HR room, the HR can be a forest, which is a domain. I don't know.
No,
meaning.
That is not. Let me show you this now. Let me show you this. Let me quickly
It
show
has
you
to be
this.
a website. Does it
Yes, their websites. Basically, their website is their domain most times, right? In my company now, my domain is my company name is WQS Group of Companies. This is my company name. If I was setting this for my company, like this is my company domain name, like you purchase this domain name. I don't want to divert so much from what we are doing, but that is another part of all this support something, right? You need to have knowledge of all those things. This is my company domain name here. So if I'm setting up a new domain environment to my company, I want to use this my company domain name so that my user's email address will then be, for example, my email address is Chinedu, what's it called? Chinedu Ogwagamba at wqsgroupofcompanies.com. You see, you see people having their company name as their email address. That is where you set. This is where you identify that whatever domain name you use as this, that is what the domain name of the user will be picking. You get? So if anybody is working in my company now, you see the person's email address ending with wqsgoc.com. That is what we are setting here. That is where we are doing this setting. So anybody working in this, any user that will be added to this domain, the person email address must end with cybersecurity.com.
Okay.
Is that clear, Ugo?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Good. So I'll do next. This is making it's as well creating specifying domain controller capability. Domain name service is telling me my domain controller will be my domain name service. I've explained domain name service before, right? Domain name service, yeah, we did that in one of our classes. It helps to convert IP address, kind of convert IP address to human readable this thing. When we type in domain name, computer don't understand domain name. I just showed you guys my company, my real company domain name, WQS. To computer, this thing are bits, they are zeros and one. We've done this before. So the domain name service helps to convert this name into the zeros and one that computer understand. So it makes work easy for us. We don't need to be cramming those zeros and one. Imagine that you need to cram over 32 zeros and one to be able to get this. It becomes complex for you. So, but when you type in this domain name, it is the functionality of this domain name service to convert that domain name to zeros and one for the computer to understand. Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah, so good. And then it's asking me to type the directory service restore mode password. I mentioned something that for the course of this project, I will use the same password for everything. That is not best practice. I'm just doing that because I don't want to mess things up in my head. I want everywhere I come across password in this thing. I know I used one password, but remember that is not what's the best practice. Just doing that because of just training. Like, I'm not taking this
Wait,
serious,
1
right?
minute, 1 minute. Sorry. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Why do we have Windows Server 2016?
That is the forest functional level for
Oh,
is by default for
by default.
what's it called, for 29. Yeah, you see, you don't have any option there. You just have one option.
Okay.
You don't have any option there. So it's just by default. Yeah.
And
So
then the global catalog.
global catalog helps you to kind of have ability to have, like, you know, how do I explain this? You know, your service book, like when you are in a domain, you observe, you can just go to a user and you see the user name, the user phone number, the user this, the user that, attribute of the user. It will be seen globally. It will be seen in everyone in that domain. Like, for example, if I'm in the same domain with you, I really don't have my colleague's number, because I can always go to a page and I will see their phone number there, you know. So that global catalog helps you to actualize that. So when a user is created, I'll show you this when we're in cloud. When a user is created, you have space of picking, remove from global catalog or add to global catalog. When you remove that user from global catalog, other users will not be able to see that user's details, such as phone number and email address. So, but by default, it's picked to add every new created user to global catalog. Are we together?
Okay.
And the read only, if we selected read only,
I don't want that. It's
no, I know. I just said,
yeah.
In what situation do we select read only domain controller?
That is a special condition when you want your domain controller to be only read only. Read only means you are taking. I'm sure it's not available for us here. You see,
Cannot be edited.
It's not working. It's only on rare condition that you have that. I'm not sure if it's available for 2019 in general. And for domain controller itself, I would be surprised to have that, because how are you making your domain controller read only? Read only means you are making a file. You can't even edit or do anything. So being a domain controller and making it read only, that is weird. That is weird, you know. So yeah, that is what we have here. I would click next. I need to increase our pace a little, but I need us to understand this so we can finish up this.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so here now is asking us DNS option. A delegation, you can read this, right? You can see it. A delegation for DNS server cannot be created because the authoritative parent zone could not be found. Not a problem. I don't want to bother my head about this. You see, it's not clickable. Create DNS delegation. It's not clickable. I will leave it like that. It's default. I'll click on my next. Verify the NES BIOS name assigned to the domain, and change it if necessary. I'm okay with this. This was what we created. We created the NES BIOS name is, okay, let me explain this now. It's kind of gonna be helpful. When you are trying to join your client, a computer, to this domain on-prem, we are talking about on-prem here, right? Most times, if you don't set this NES BIOS, I will do something when we reach there, and I will remember of you guys of what I explained here. If the NES BIOS is set to this, and if you are trying to put in the complete domain name harden.com, you'll be having error, because the NES BIOS was set to this. So you need to remember this, because you need it when you are adding clients, when you're adding computer to the domain. That is among our questions, right? At some point, we had the window 10. Here is it. Yeah. Workstation, this will create window 10 and other things, right? We'll join this. So yeah, so just so you know, I'm just trying to explain what the functionality of this for you, so you note that.
So we cannot put .com.
Sorry?
So we shouldn't put .com. It should be the first part of the domain. name.
Default. I like working with defaults to most of these things, but it's personal. If you want, you can change. But me, I prefer leave it default what was presented to me. But you just need to know if you have left this default, you need to know at that point when you want to add a client to the device, to the domain, that you left this on default. When we get to that point, I will intentionally put in the full this thing and I will ask you guys to correct it for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will do next. Yeah, this is just the folder location of where I have things. I'm kind of okay with them. I don't want to change anything. I'll just leave it at the default. Specify the location for the AD like database. I don't want to change any of them. I'll say, okay, I'm okay. This is just asking me to review my selections or what I've selected. You see, NetBIOS this, domain name this. I'm okay with everything I've selected. Like, I'm okay. I'll do next. If I'm not okay, I can go back, right, and select and change whatever, but I'm okay. I'll review it. So yeah, it needs to validate what I've set, the setup I've picked. Once it validates it, it will now allow me to click install once everything appears to be okay. So it's doing the validation for me now. Yeah, so good. It said all prerequisites checked passed successfully, so I can click install to begin now. These are all the views. If I want to go in details and read through, I really don't want to do time. I really don't want to do time. I don't have time. I'll click on install since it passed already. Do you have a question?
No, go ahead. It's
So installing now.
now it's making more sense.
Yeah, but it needs like
Practice.
yeah.
No,
You need to
no, with this video now why I said it's making more sense. Like I've been hearing on-prem the cloud, then all these domain name. You've taught us all this, you understand. But now I'm really like it makes now I can understand practically. Though I still need to practice at least. Now, if you give me something, I can start doing something. But you know, when you installed it in our systems, you didn't do that like that place that we uninstalled that, doing it one by one. You know, it was just running on its own.
Okay.
Thank you for this.
You're welcome. I just need you guys to have an understanding of this. It's going to be very helpful.
Thank you. Oh.
Yeah, so this will be done in a couple of minutes now. And then once this is done, what we've achieved is we've made this server, we've made it what? The domain controller. Immediately this is achieved, you see this yellow thing on this notification will go off to make you know that yeah, you've achieved what you actually initiated of making it a domain controller. Then the computer will then be our domain controller, so we can then administer, do things, and then we'll play with that a little. Then once we play with that a little, we'll then immediately go to the other part of bringing in a client, which in this case is a window term, that is adding a computer to the domain. That is another important part I need us to do. But we'll play with some of the questions after this. Before that one, we'll just do them briefly, then start up that immediately. Because yeah,
so the question is, right, when an organization, when we're on their domain, that's because that shows where that is basically when we have the last part of the domain on our names, right? Like, they normally put
Okay, my
at
email now,
UDC.
my email in Hope Mission now is like stanley.akbu@hopemission.com.
Very correct. Yes.
Yeah, so that is the domain at the end. Yeah. So what they use this to do is to give you permission as well, and all these things.
Yes. What they use is the right word is for identity management.
Okay.
So they can, with that name Stanley just mentioned now, they can set policy that would only affect just Stanley.
Yeah.
And if they want to do any extra thing to just Stanley or to a group of people working with Stanley, they can manage that very well. Give him access to resources or denying him access to resources. Those things can then be managed easily.
Okay. So from this domain, you can control computers that is tied to this individual login.
Yes.
Once they log in, they can access whatever you allow them to access based on you controlling it from this domain.
Very true.
Okay.
Very correct. That is the picture of it.
Yes, I'm just trying to make sure I visualize what's going on.
Yeah. So once they log in, they can only access only what I have given them access to, only what I have allowed them to access, because they are logging it with their identity, which is tied, which is being managed on this domain. So only what I said, hey, Stanley should have access to these resources. Stanley should be able to print with this printer. Only what I have specified, that is what Stanley would be able to do.
I never knew that they did it from a website, like an on-prem website, or a cloud. I actually thought it was, I didn't know how it operated until now. Like, I thought it was
It was a
from
physical
the
something.
from a machine on
Machine.
No, because a company has so many computers. They cannot be doing this on one individual computers. They need to have a central means of doing that,
Yeah. Now I'm putting some understanding to what goes on behind the scene.
Yeah. So it's just restarting. It's done. It's restarting. So this is our server now, is now a domain controller. Should come up. And so now to your question, which you said, so before they give you that email address, which has your name, Stanley, that at Hope Mission, they must have set it in their server. So you then log into your own computer to that client using those permission which they've given to you. Most times they give you your email address, Stanley at Hope Mission, and they give you a temporal password. So once you sign in, you'll be requested by the system to change in and provide a new password. You can do all those setup here. And we can even bypass that. Okay, don't ask him to change password, but for security reasons, you should ask a user to change password as an admin. So this user feels you're not having his or her password. It gives the user more confidence in you. But even though, as an admin, because you are the one managing it centrally, you can virtually see anything any user is doing, even without his or her password. You can see that. So
that's what I was about to say.
You should know that whatever you are doing with your system, with your office system, they can keep track of that.
Yeah.
They can keep track of. every site you access with your office system, they can keep track of that. I'm gonna show you how I track my colleagues, my workers with my offices. I will show you that when we during the end of that, I will show you. You will see where I can tell where you took our system to. If you moved our system from here out of Edmonton, I will tell you, I will know.
So you can know who
you left Edmonton with our system.
So you can know who got the virus on the computer?
You can do
Yes.
geolocation too.
Yes. I can see every site you access with our system. I can see if you moved away from Edmonton with our system. I can see everything. Yes. I can see everything. I can even see your emails if I want to. But then it's not, you need to know as an admin, you should not, there are some powers, except when there is need for that, you do that. But you should not be doing that.
Can I ask you a question?
Should not be, for example, now, if I'm reading our CEO mail, I can't be doing that. Well, I really should not do that.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If I go on a website, right?
Yeah.
For example, a resource website that I need to use, but it's not, what should I say? So can you see my what I do on Microsoft Word? You can't see that.
What you do on Microsoft Word, I cannot see that, but if I want to, I will. Yes. So if I want to, it's just simply to set your profile that everything you do, including your Microsoft, should be saved on your profile, and then I can access your profile.
Oh yeah, yeah. As if you saved it in your, if you save it in the cloud or on the server. But if you save it outside the server, you wouldn't be able to see that, right?
So look at how it works. If you log in with your username and your password and your profile is created, whatever you are doing on that profile, you're doing, maybe you save a Microsoft Word. Ideally, I would not be able to see that easily because it's not on web, it's on maybe on your device, right? But then if I want to go extra mile, I can. If I want to go extra mile, I can decide to set up some setting on my server. Why is this taking so much time? This should not take this time. I can decide to set up some setting on my server that everything that comes on this profile, I want to be seeing it. Then I would create for myself a login details of your profile, and I will access it on a local device and see what you are doing on even your Word.
Yes.
But like those measures only comes in when there is critical need. Maybe a user did something and you want to investigate the user very well. It's not what what is it called? It's not what an admin will just start doing.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Okay, so this is up now. So you observe now, we have, can you see this image? Cybersecurity / administrator, meaning this is now a domain and a domain controller. You see, it's telling me now I have a domain, which is what? And I'm logging in as an administrator to this domain, which is called cybersecurity. You remember where we created the domain, we choose this to be cybersecurity.com, right?
Yeah.
And we set our next dials to be what? Cybersecurity. So I will log in now. And I remembered I set the same password. I didn't want to complicate things. So I'm going to use the same password so that it will go through. Yeah. So this is my server. And I now have a domain. And it's now my server controller, my domain controller. You see that yellow thing is off now?
Okay.
Yeah, you can see my service now. Still loading. Still loading. This will load more service. The role. I now have more rows here. Still loading.
No, I'm not asking you about the option to add it. The other agent tried the airline for me.
It's still loading. While this is loading, let's go to that question and check what we want to do next. So virtually we've done this question one. The next thing is to disable automatic updates on my server. Just wanting to play with you guys. So let's go and do that. To disable automatic updates. So I will search for updates. Window update. The server is taking so long to load completely. I don't like that. I'll type update. So it says window update setting. Can we see this? Can we see where I typed update and I'm clicking on window update setting now?
Can you go back to how you got there again?
It's
Okay.
just okay.
I'll
No
close
problem,
it.
sorry.
So I came back to our question. The first question which we have here is the server configuration. And the first thing we have here, 1.1, is to set up our Windows server, right?
Yeah.
And then prompt this to domain controller and server manager, which we have done, right? Yeah. Good. You see, it's now up here. This thing is now showing me my how many rows do I have here now? 3. This is now having my ADDs. So if I go to this now, if I should go to this now, Active Directory users and computer. See, I now have this domain. You see? So everything I will be doing now will be under this domain. So I now have this as my domain controller. So, but that is not my, I will come back to this. I want to take this question step by step. But my next question here, which I have here, is to disable my automatic updates, right? On the Windows Server 2019. So I will come down here. What I want to do first, I'm not interested in this yet. I will come back to this, is to disable my automatic update. So I click on this search and I type towards update.
Updates. Yeah.
And it popped out this for me. And I want to click on this window update setting. By default, it should be disabled, but just to confirm. So this is my window update setting, right? This is my window update, whatever, I check whatever. I'm interested in just to disable it. I will click on the advanced option. It's already turned off. Update option, give me up is off. But if I want to on it, I can on it. But the question said disable means turn it off, right? It's already off by default, right? If it was on, I should have turned this off. If it was on, I should have turned it off, right? To achieve what the question said. I just want you guys to play with this.
Yeah,
right?
okay. So that question was just to play with it. It's not necessarily bad to. Okay.
Yeah, but for that question, I've achieved this now. I wanted to see a screen of this to be sure you guys actually did that. You know what you are doing, right?
Oh, so you want us to screenshot when we do that?
Yeah, I wanted all you guys to screenshot almost everything we've been doing. That was why I said document it for me. But I'm now doing it. I'm not taking the document. I'm not screenshotting it again. All those processes where I moved my domain to a domain controller should have been screenshotted and explained. Just the way I explained it, but I'm doing it. I'm not documenting it. I'm just showing you guys.
Okay, explain it. But after this, we can still go ahead and do it now practically.
Very
so
good. That would be nice. So you can still
go
on and do the work and document it. From
because by the time we do it now, it will sink more like into,
I will be so happy to see that, So the next question now is directory and user management. And the first question which I have in 2.1 is what? Create a directory name called what? Test data. And where should this be created? On the root of the C drive with 3 subfolders: user, job, and account. So he said we should create a folder. A folder is a directory, right? Create a folder, a directory on the C drive of this. So I'm going to my C drive. This is my C drive, right? You can see the question. I'm just working with this question direction. He said I should create it on my C drive. This is my C drive. I open it. He said I should create it under what? Under the C drive with 3 subfolders. So I will create my folder here. I'll right click and do new folder. I'll call it what? Test data. Test data. Test data. And inside it, I'll create 3 subfolder. And I will call it what? What did I name it there? User, job, and account. I'm just, these things are not much this thing, but I just needed you guys to be able to work with instruction and get this done. It's not
All
much
right.
of a priority, you know.
It's
So
not, it's
guess
not
what?
hard because you're doing it.
So
Sorry?
No, go ahead. I said it's not hard because you're doing it.
Yeah, so I've achieved this. I've achieved this. So the next thing is create two group, test 1 and test 2 within the default organization unit in your Active Directory. So I will go to my Active Directory organization unit. Where do I have that? So this one is now taking me back. I'm done with this point here. So this is my what? You remember that I navigated here? Let me close it and come back. This was the landing page I have. I clicked on this. So the question says, create two group, test 1 and test 2 within my default organization unit, my Active Directory. I come here, I click on my Active Directory user and group. That was how I navigated to this point. Yeah. So this is my organization unit. You see? And so this is my
So
domain.
to create
Sorry?
the test data, right?
Yes.
In
So I'll create that. I'll create this now, as the question said, create two group, test 1 and test 2.
I know. I just want to say something. To create the test data on the C drive, you wouldn't need to. It wouldn't need to go into the ADDS. You would have to just go
No.
to
That one
the
is just something different. Just go to
yeah.
your C drive,
Just go to
create
the
it
C
there.
drive. So
Yeah.
this now to get
So
to create.
the C drive is the C drive of your system itself. It's not on the virtual.
Yes. It's no. It's on the virtual.
It's
It's on
on the
my server.
virtual. That's
It's on
what I
my
was
server.
thinking.
Yeah. It's on my server
Okay.
C drive. What you are seeing
Okay.
here is my server C drive. If I'm
Yeah.
doing my physical C drive, this is where I will come. This is my server C drive. You remember what we gave to the server C drive is 50. So when we came here, you can see it's 50. The size is 50 gig. You can see
Okay, yeah.
49.4. That was where we created this, which we created the test data. It's on the virtual machine. You see, we created the test data here, and we created 3 sub this thing folder under it. You see? Yeah, so this is now asking us, the next thing here is, this is my domain. This is my computer, and this is my, yeah. And this thing is saying, you just want to pay attention to the instruction, organization units. So I can decide, it's just depending on me. This is my users, already existing users. I can decide to create this inside my users, this test group inside my users, but I can decide to create it just as the question said on my organization unit, just depending on what I want.
How did you get these users?
I just clicked on it here. This is the user here.
Yes, I know, but I mean, where did these users come from?
These
That's
are
the users
defaults.
on the
The only
domain,
one
right?
that is the only one, these are defaults. The only one that is working that I kind of created myself is the administrator. I created it when I was creating the domain. You see,
Okay.
I said here we have administrator and I provided password, and that was what I
Yeah.
logged in it with. I can decide to create more users here now. That is where this thing comes in. The user I was telling you about, like different user. It just depends on how you want to set up your infrastructure or your organization. I can decide here to create groups by department. Where I was telling you, I explained IT group, IT team, HR team. I can decide to do all those things here depending on what I want to achieve, right? I can decide here. The question said in my organization unit, that question, right? This is my organization unit.
Where did you get it from?
From the tools, right?
Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for you to get anything new now, this interface is my user. If I can decide to click on this computer, you see no computer has been added to my domain. When we add computer, we'll come here and we'll see something now here. But for now, for this organization unit, cybersecurity, this is my domain. I can decide to minimize this. This is my domain, right? And there is something I need to explain here, which is organization unit, but I need to be careful. I will check that up later. There is an when you are dealing mostly on-prem, there is an order, there is an hierarchy. So you want to pay attention to that, mostly when you are setting up your infrastructure, your domain this thing. There is an order to that. What do I mean by an order? Organization unit, I've forgotten which one supersede. Is it the domain? The domain comes before the organization unit. So meaning, what does that mean in the hierarchy? If I should create something, a particular user, maybe I place a particular user under an organization unit and I apply a policy to it. If I should come a step that is higher than it, maybe on my domain level, and I create another policy and my organization unit is under my domain, you need to note that the policy which I create on my organization level might override that organization unit. But that is the technicality part of it. It's like step 3 ahead of what we are doing now. I just want you guys to have an understanding of that, because you might find yourself working in an enterprise tomorrow where there is an on-prem like this. So you have a knowledge of that. It becomes easy for you to learn, but don't disturb yourself about those things now. Just work with the flow. This is my domain controller organization unit. Work with the flow here. Work with the flow, right? That is what I just need you to do here. This is my domain controller organization unit. If I want to create anything here, I can decide to create my, what is it called? Those tests, this thing I made mention of. What I just want you guys to understand is at this point, you are free to that is why I said you should exploit. Just I want to see image of what you did, what you were thinking. I want to see how you were thinking, how you wanted to set up your this thing. The questions I said, they are not fixed. Once you understand this, you know how to navigate your way around. And then, if I'm creating users, if I'm creating what I want to create is a group under my default domain controller organization unit. I've explained something to you, the hierarchy. You need to pay attention to that. So when you apply any policy and you figure out it's not working well the way you want, you need to know that the hierarchy is playing with you at that point. Then you need to go check the other policies, know which one is applying that is making the one you've set not to apply. But as I say, that is step 3. Yeah, so, but okay, for this now, I'm creating a group, cybersecurity domain controller, that is where I'm creating the grouping. I can decide to name it, let me say test 1.
But I actually see in the domain controller, you have something that's called organizational unit.
That is where we are now. The organization unit of the domain. You can decide to spin up another organization unit. Let me cancel this. You can decide to spin up another organization unit here. You see, under this domain controller organization unit, the default one, I can decide to spin up another organization unit. Where is new organization unit? I can spin up another one. Whatever I want to do.
Okay. All right.
It just depends. What do you want to do? New object organization unit. I'm creating another organization unit here now. But before now, I was not creating another one. I was trying to create the group inside this default organization unit. Just depending, as I said, depending on what you want to do, just do whatever you want to do. Yeah, I'm creating a group inside my default organization unit under my domain controller. You can see the domain comes, then the domain controller, and this is the group, and I'm calling it test 1. Just depending. This is a group now inside my domain controller organization units. I've created a test 1 group, and it's a security group. Can decide to create another. I think in that question, it said test 1 and test 2. Test 2. And so, yeah, that is that. Let me see what we have next in that question.
What time? What time?
Sorry?
Sorry, not you. Sorry about that.
Okay. Then the next question we should have here is create appropriate domain user account and assign them to group as needed. Create appropriate domain user account, you see? So I'll go now. I'll create appropriate domain user accounts and assign them to group as needed. Here's my interface. So now, I want to create user now. I want to create user, right? User. And then I'm creating, this is where you now do Ugo.Stanley at, it will be at my domain now. So I'll put in, okay, first name. Let me go with the format. First name, initial, I don't have initial. This second last name I said is Stanley. The full name is Ugo, sorry, there's O in Ugo. Okay, so the user login will be Ugo.Stanley. These dots is just depending. Every organization have their own pattern. So an organization don't put your full name. They do, maybe your login details will be the first digit of your first name dot your second name, or the first digit of your first name and your second name. Just depend. Organization have their standard. You want to keep to that, right? But for this case, for this scenario, I'm doing Ugo.Stanley. Ugo.Stanley.
And so if you get to an organization and they are using a format of maybe first name, so you follow the policy,
keep the policy.
You keep to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you my organization home and the policy we're using. We're running out of time, I swear. I want to add a client. I might skip up all these things. You can play with these things now at this point, right? You can play with them. I'll skip some of them.
Yes, no problem.
So
you have given us the starting this thing, then just touch them like that major main this thing has come in and touch all these ones, and you do the one we add the client, like you said.
Yeah, I want to add a client. I want you to see that. And so this is your user login details. Ugo.Stanley. Please remember this spelling for me, because if we make mistake on this spelling, let's just go with Ugo so that I will not forget. Let's just go with Ugo. Yeah. Ugo. So your email address is ugo@cybersecurity.com. That's your email address. I'll go next. Okay, so I will set a password for you, or I would, ask it to auto-generate, but I will set, let me use the same password. I don't want to mix things up in my head. So
but
here now I have
be auto-generated.
Yeah, it can be auto-generated. I will show you that in the cloud.
Okay.
So now I can say user must change password on your next login. For security reasons, this should be checked. You see, by default it's checked, but I'm not interested in that. I don't want to change this password which I'm using. I want it, I will uncheck it. And if I want the user cannot change the password, I will check this. Then you cannot change any password I've given to you, but I don't need that. And I can say password does not exist. It's not good, but I will do it for you because I don't want to be changing password. You should not do password never expire. You know, I can decide to disable the user. Even when I share the details with you, you will not be able to log in until I enable you, but I don't want to do that. I will leave it, just check on this and I will do next. And so these are the details of what I've created. I'm okay with it. I'll finish. So I have you here now as a user. You see? I have you here now as a user. And then let's create a user quickly create a user for
Christopher.
Yeah. Chris. So Chris email address.
So you just click on user and then you go over to the right side and then right click.
Yeah, you just right click, but you can use the up button. They have buttons up here.
Yeah.
But I'm just doing the fast method. They have button for that up. You just take your time, go through those buttons, you see what they do.
and only persons who have the authorization
So
can.
sorry, what did you say? What did you say?
Oh, I was saying
I'm
like,
saying how I generate this thing. I just right click here and pick new. But I'm
yeah,
saying you can do that through these buttons up here as well.
up at
You
the
see,
top.
yeah, you see create a user. You can click here and do that, right? You can use these buttons as well. They give you the functionality which you see when you right click here. You know,
Yeah,
I'm just using this one, just short names. So I can do different things now. I can create a group. I can decide. I've created this group here. I can decide now to assign these users which I've created. I created Ugo. I will say assign Ugo to a group. Like just be playing with it. This is administration. Add the selected objects to a group.
and
I will play with.
all of these
Sorry?
are are organizational defaults on
Yeah,
your
the other
cybersecurity.
users, they are organization default. But this user now, which I've created, this is the two which I created myself. I created Ugo, I created Chris, I created this
Yeah,
administrator, which is myself. That was
yeah,
what I used to log in. So what I'm saying here now, I can do many other administration. I can add Ugo, for example, to be in my IT team. I can decide to make Ugo in my IT team and make you in my HR team for easy policy implementation. And I created two group here. I called it test one, test two. I can decide to rename this group and say IT as my test one, HRO as my test two. Like you just play with it, right? And
yeah,
then I
yeah,
will go to this user and place Ugo on my test one and place you on my test two group. So if I'm applying a policy, I'm shooting that policy to my test one, and I know by default is affecting everybody that is inside that group of test one, inside this security group. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm shooting a policy to test two, and I know it's applying to everybody, maybe the HR team here now. You understand? I want
Yes.
you guys to play with this now, be more comfortable with this, because this is how you're gonna administer the policies and others. You need to do this, play with it. And so we've done with all these things. So this is the next part. I want you to play with this now. Access control. Play with all these things we've created. Grant all users access to test data. We created test data in the C drive. I want you now to grant all users, these users which you've created here now, grant them access to that test file. Grant test one and test one group modify permission on job folder. So this test one group, people that are in test one group, they should have ability to modify the they should have ability to modify the words. They should have modified permission on job folder. Remember, we created this job folder here. They should have modified permission. They should be able to modify something on this job folder. You see, it's just playing with permissions. See, and grant test two group ability to read and write permission on account folder. Means test two group which we've created here. Where do we have that? Test two group which we've created. Any user that is in this test two group should be able to modify this account folder. So meaning any user that is in test one that is trying
cannot access
modify this account folder.
Accounts. Yeah.
When you do it, you should get error. So I want you to play with that. Please play with that. It will help you modify. It will help you understand what we are doing more, right? How to play with things, how to give resource. What we are doing now is resource distribution, which is the key functionality of Active Directory. With Active Directory, we can achieve that easily. Let's go to my next important thing, which is I'm not sure we'll be able to cover this before 10, but I will do this. I will then show us how to do this. I will try to show us, because I'm not sure if I not show you guys this, it will be hard for you. I'll quickly run through this now, which I need to do this in less than 20 minutes. Because I've explained with the server. I will not explain so much on this. I will just be running through it. You will be seeing what I'm doing. Well, you can ask me wherever you feel you're not getting it. Well, at this point, I believe we understand everything we have done on this server.
Yes, so far at least 60%, 70% understood. Yeah.
Very good. So we have understand this server. So now we want to work on our workstation configuration. We want to set up user now. You know, in this point now, we have set up your user account. We have assigned, where is it? We have set up user. We set up Ugo and we set up Chris. Now, Ugo and Chris have a user profile. I've shared this now. Ideally, I'm supposed to send you your username, which is your email address, ugo@cybersecurity.com, and a password, which I set. I'm supposed to send it to you. You have it's assumed that you have your email address and your password now, but you don't have a system to sign in to start working, because you have been employed in my organization, and the name of my organization is Cybersecurity. That is my domain name. I've employed you, created a profile for you, but I need to give you a system now which you log in and then have access to the resources, that whatever resources I've set up here, that is what you have access to. Whatever group I've added you to and assigned policy to that, that is what you will be able to see when you log in on your computer. So now what we want to do, we want to set up those computers that I will give to you. I want to set up a computer and give you a computer. That is what I want to do now. Is it clear?
Yes.
Very good. So now we'll go now. Because I'm doing everything virtually. I'm not doing anything physically, but in real life, this should be physical. You know, you should get your computer physically. So, but I'm doing it virtually. I will add up my computer now. Windows 10. Or let me say Windows 10 for Ugo. So let me just say Windows 10. Let me not do Windows 10. So I can decide to give it to Ugo or give it to Chris at the end of this. If I say for Ugo now, it means Ugo will know that this is for his system. I want it to be open. So once I'm done, anybody can log in and be using it, you know, which is true. Anybody, your computer can be, your colleague can log in your computer with his own profile, and it will work because that computer is in the same domain, which your colleague is actually in the same, because your colleague email address as well will end with the same company domain address. So your colleague can use your computer, you know? Yeah. So in this case now, Windows 10 now, not server. I'll be fast with this. It's similar thing to what I've explained already. Remember, I've done all these things to you guys. Let me check my physical space, because this 50 gig, I don't want to do something that would make everything so slow. 50 gig. If I take off 50 from here, I'll be left with 50. It's not too bad.
You have taken 50 before, not so?
I've taken 50 before for that first server, and now this thing is asking me to take 50 again. Let me reduce it to 30 so that it will not make my system so slow, because this thing is consuming your physical system space directly, you know. Let me take it to 30. Okay, taking it to 30. Yeah, I reduce it to 30. I'll be fast with this, finish. So I'll start this. I have like 40 minutes to finish up everything.
Me, myself, I have to go out somewhere, self, but it's well.
And me, myself as well. So it's like, stop doing that.
Can we have one more class? But I need to be in 4 hours. So I said 4 hours by 6. If we can start by 6.
People should relate with Flow. I'm always available.
Why are you relating with me?
Oh, do you mean you are here and you are not talking? This woman. Do you mean you are here?
I'm here now.
And you are not talking, you are just taking everything.
You are in this class. I'm preparing for my next class by 10.
Really? My goodness.
But yes, I'm hoping that Chinedu will be able to complete everything is you know, whatever is in that sheet. So please, Chinedu,
Yeah, at
You
least
can
we
do
can
it.
start now, and play
You
around.
can do it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be rushing now,
Be
I don't wanna
rushing now.
explain.
They will
Yeah,
understand later. Don't worry. Keep going.
I'm not sure they will understand it very well. They need one more class. Give them one more class.
My students are very smart.
Well, I'm gonna do some research as well, but at least I know how to start it.
Where to start? Now, at least they
Yeah,
still
Yeah, they know how to start now. So obviously every
yeah.
other thing can. You
can
can
fall
always
in. Even,
send
I can reach
Chinedu a
out to, yes.
message.
Yeah.
yes, that's true. That's true.
Send him a message if you're stuck anywhere, then he can just tell you what to do.
See,
Yeah,
we
at
are
least we can
still
start.
see we are still on 4 of this question, and we have just 40 minutes. We've not started 5 and 6. You see, that is a whole thing, because this particular 5 is where we start the hardening. That is where you start working at cybersecurity. Now, what we have been doing is IT. Like on 5 and 6 is where you start now your cybersecurity particular work. You know, so that is why I'm saying if you can get one more class, it would be nice. To be nice. Because I can rush this. If I rush this concept, I can bet you for free you will not get it. I can rush this part now, which I'm doing now. I'm not kind of spending much time here.
I think the time we're using to even talk, say would have just finished 5 by now.
They do us one more class, whatever it will take. We will, me, I'm ready to just anyway. Let's not. But I need to learn this thing
Let's
and know
just
it.
get going for now, then we can deal with that later on.
Yeah, I'm going through this now. I'm going through this now. But meanwhile, okay, let me multitask more. While this is loading, let's see. Let me jump to 5. Let me jump to 5, but I will not complete it because we need this to go on with that. Let me jump to 5. I'm going back to my server. So now you see, this internet is not working. That is another thing now. That is where the network part of it comes in. And that is the sweet part I want to share with you guys. But I'm going to rush it a little. So now you need to determine, you know, in physical, you would have problem as well, but you'll be able to navigate easily, In physical, why? Because your network, it will all be in the same network. What do I mean? You have just one internet in the building or in the office, as the case may be. Some offices have more than one internet. You need to pay attention to that. And in your resource distribution as well, you need to pay attention to that. If you are in network A, for example, and your resource is in network B, for example, your printer is in network B, note, you will not be able to, the user, Stanley or this, even if I have said use that resource, it will not work. If I have assigned Stanley to network A and my printer is in network B, it will not work. They need to be in the same network. This is in physical. This sometimes can take you the whole day if you don't understand it and you figure out it's just small thing. So you need to pay attention. So that is the network part. So, but now, because we are in virtual, I've explained the physical, but because we are in virtual, we are not in physical here. We are in virtual. So what I need to do is to make sure that this virtual machine is talking with my real machine. That is like setting the same network for them. So how do I go about this thing now? There is the class we talked about IP config and all. I believe you remember that. That is where it's come to play now. IP config is a very, very vital tool you need to know for networking. Don't forget that too, because it can help you very well. So I will go now and click on my command prompt it immediately. And I will type it what? ipconfig/all. You remember this command. It tells me my network. This is where you are now. My IP address is what? 10.0.2.15. My subnet is what? 25. I've explained all these things before. 2255, this. Subnet is what? Like surname. I remember using that word for you guys, right? My default gateway is this. And you need to know, because this is a domain and I am going to be adding a server, which a client, which I'm spinning. Whatever my IP address is, my DNS, because I set up my server to be my DNS of my client must align with that of my server. This thing I said now is very, very important. note it very well. So now, this is my IP address of my server. Then I will check my IP address of my system, my physical system. I'll check my IP address to know what it is. Because if they are not on the same, it will not work. So keep on giving me issues, right? And so you need to make sure that they are on the same network as well for physical. I'll say IP config all. You see, my physical IP address is saying 10. Can you see this? 10.0.0.117. My server IP address is saying 10.0.2.15. See, there is a problem. You see? There is a problem. So I need to figure out how to balance these two. These two must be the same for anything to work. What this thing means now is if I should ping this IP address from this one, it's not going to work. I will get a failed back return. For time's sake, but let me do it. Let me do it so that you'll be seeing it. The IP address is 10.0.2.15. I'll ping 10.0.2.15 from here. Then ping 10.0.2.15. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. I already know. Request timeout. It will fail the 4 times. Because this is not saying this. And if I come down here now as well and ping my IP address for here, which is 10.0.177. If I ping it from my server, it will as well fail. You know? So now, as an IT person, the first thing you need to check, because of course, I've identified the first thing, which is the network, that they are not on the same network. You can see it. It's clear. It's not like I'm saying it to just your mouth. You can see it on the screen. You can see this IP address here. It's different from this one. So I need to find a way of getting it done. And most times when you find a way of getting it to the same IP address, to the same network, it might still not work. So then you need to lower your firewall. Firewall can be another thing that can be making ping not to go through. You remember we discussed that in one of our classes. But nevertheless, let me set my network first. Let me take one by one. So I will go now to this my virtual bus and set the network of my server. I will do setting. You can see. Be fast. I will do setting. Click on setting. Load. So I will go to my network. I'm interested in setting the network. I'll check what is the current network setting. It's actually on NAT. I'll check, but NAT is not giving me what I want. Which other option I have there? Sometimes you might have like 3. But I have here just other one option. I'll pick it. Bridge adapter. You know what bridge is, right? Just level up. With bridge, you have some restriction if I'm having a router box now. But for the sake of this practice, it will help me achieve what I want. It will give me an IP address that will be in the same range with my host's computer. So I'll pick bridge. I'll OK it. So when you change a network like this, most times you need to restart the system even to check if it's working. But then I would go back there now and see. Because sometimes it will not work. You need to restart the system to make sure that you are working on the same level. So I'll check now IP config what? Very good. And I have an IP address within the range of my physical computer. And you see my red button is off. So I now have internet access. You see? Can you see that? Are you with me? Are you guys with me?
Yeah, but 207, was the other one 207?
No, the other one is 10.0.0.177. You know, when they are in the same subnet, the only thing that should differ is the last one. But this one before was in 10.0.2.15. You see, it was on different subnets before. And you need to be on the same network. You need to be on the same subnet for you to be doing anything, sharing resources. And you see now, immediately I change it. You see, I now have internet. Before I was not having internet. It was having a yellow thing here. You see?
Yeah, but I didn't see how you troubleshoot that thing. That way, how you went to that net, because this thing, I think is big. When you minimize it, I can see it.
Oh. Okay, so this was what I did. This was what I did. I came down here, I selected the virtual machine, and I clicked on my settings, and I went to the network. And I changed it from LAN, which it was, to bridge. And I saved my changes. Are we together?
It's okay. This thing wasn't seeing it before. Now you minimize it, I can see it. It's okay. I've seen it.
Very good.
Yeah.
So
you can continue.
Okay. So now back to this. So I'm now on the same network now, which is very good. So let me check my client. I'm starting to install is on 91, 92, almost there. So let me continue back again on this second part on my server. So I have this now fixed, and then I will open a box, my Internet Explorer. Ask me later, I don't have time. I'll type on this, I'll say pink castle. Pink castle. It should block it because I'm now in a domain. Should be blocking some of the things I'm doing. Yeah, you're about to do, okay. Yeah, I'm expecting this already. Should be blocking this. I will then lift, I'll take off something, I'll add this to still will be preventing me from some things. Choke. This, what is this?
To be honest, guys, I'm very distracted right now, but yeah, definitely still here listening, but yeah, I think I would have to be researching some on this section, you know. So just let you guys know. Stanley,
Chris,
I'll be talking to you.
Even if you not get this part, I need you to be focused with us on the when we are having the clients, you know. This big, this part.
I didn't hear you, Chine, do to focus when we do what? Focus on
when I'm adding the clients, the other computer to it. This part I'm showing you now, this part I'm doing now, Pinkers to is for the hardening, is to be able to measure my current security stand of my Active Directory. Then I will now harden it. You know, you understand? So I will click on this download to download the Pinkcastle. I know I will have some blockage on it because I'm in a domain, but I will allow it. I'll show you.
So this is the add what again?
This is the hardening, this section 5 and section 6. So we are on the section 5 now, security evaluation. We want to use our Pinkcastle to evaluate our current security measure to see where we are. Then we will now do some hardening method using the CIS benchmark. Then we will see together that this process will help us improve our security measure. By now, we want to do the security check. We'll see the current ranking, which it's giving us, and we'll see it's not a good ranking. Then we'll do some hardening process, then get a better improved measure.
Okay.
Yeah, but this process now, I'm jumping a step. I've not hardened the clients. That is even more important to me. Showing you guys, if you can even get a good understanding to that point, this hardening point is now another part, which we can then take time and do because it's a long process actually. Yeah. So, but let me check why this is loading because I'm kind of using time to wait for this. Yeah, it's getting ready. So, okay, let me go back to this. Yeah, I'm getting blockage on this. To allow this thing to be able to download this Pinkcastle for me, I will need to do something. So just pay attention to that. I'll go back to my local server. I'll be doing some things at once here. Things that I know will cause me problem. I will just do them all at once. Ideally, it would have been nice to show you when I'm having that problem, to show you, okay, this is what I'm doing to fix it. But for example, I know this domain firewall will cause me problem. I'm just gonna turn it off right away now. That is not what I want to do here, but I know it will cause me problem. So let me just treat it immediately. But it would have been nice when you are seeing the problem and you are facing it then. You're fixing it then. Yeah. What I'm trying to do now is just to turn this off temporarily because I know it's gonna cause me issue, right? Advanced setting. So under the advanced setting, I will check on my window defender days. Oh, is all recommended. I'll turn it off. Private profile, I'll turn it off. Public profile, I'll turn it off. Apply this. Okay. Okay. So back to what I wanted to do there. Yeah, my interest was to allow that thing to be able to download. And you do those settings to allow that Internet Explorer to be able to allow something to download here. On this IE means Internet Explorer Enhanced Security Configuration. You do that here. I'll offer these things so I can download my pin cards today. Yeah, so I'll go back to my Internet Explorer. I'll click on this. It should be able to download now. Should allow me to download now. It's taking time to roll through. I'll check my other clients. Okay, just a moment, we're almost there. Yeah, so things are just running through. Very good. So I have this coming up now. So still loading, not yet loaded well. Okay, so I have this, depending on the version, they can be specific sometimes to which version they want you. I'm just gonna use any one here as test. I'll click on this 3.2.0.1. I'll click on it. It's going to allow me download it. Let me wait. I'll check this while I'm waiting. Okay, this needs me to set up here now. Pick the country, whichever, United States, Canada, they almost operate the same. Just a moment. Second, can decide to click this as well. Let me see which one comes up first. Yeah, good. One is up now. So I'll do save. Yeah. So it's downloading. This will download. My Pincast2 is downloading now. And I explain what Pincast2 is used for, right? It's used to determine the current state of my Active Directory, right? The security current state, to be precise. And then I add in it, do some measures based on the recommendation of CIS. And then I check it again. You see an improvement in that, you know? So while this is doing, I'll do this. I'll pick US International, want to be on standard. We'll skip this. This is now setting another means we should pay attention to is setting a system. When you get a new system, this is like a laptop I want to assign to Ugo or Chris, right? These are the setup you do. It's different from the server setup we've seen before. Okay, my Pincast2 is downloaded now. Can cancel this. So this is it, yeah. I would try to extract this. So this is the application and others. Yeah, I'll run this to request for me to extract it, which I will allow, extract all. Yeah, in this folder. Ideally, this should be done after setting up your environment completely where you have your client, but I'm just trying to multitask that. I will just run it on the server and see. Yeah. And then this is my Pincast2 application. So I'll run this now. I'll run as administrator. Yes.
Which environment to set up? Which environment?
I'm saying ideally this should be done when you've added your client already to your domain, right? You've set up everything, but I'm trying to do both. I'm doing that even without having my client. So you see that you have knowledge of it, right? Yeah, so I will then explain some other things depending on how time permits us. So now, see, these are the options which I have for my Pincast2. What do I want to do? Do I want to check the health check score, the risks of my domain? That is my interest. Do I want to check the score risks of Azure Media? I'm not operating on Azure Media. Whatever, you can do some other operation, but this first one here is my interest. So I'll click on OK for that. Give me the score, the risks of my domain at the moment. It will do that. It will analyze that for me. Please specify the domain. I only have default domain here. I can type it or I can just point enter because I only have one domain. I don't have two domain here, but if I have more than one domain, I need to be specific with the domain I want. I'll just punch enter. It will pick up that one domain which I have there. That is the only domain. I have cybersecurity.com, right? So it's doing the listening, starting the task, performing analysis on cybersecurity.com. These are the things it's doing: gathering information. The domain contains approximately 170 objects, gathering user data, gathering trust. It's doing everything now. Good, it's done. Task perform analysis for cybersecurity.com complete. So program launched on interface mode. Press any key to exit. Very good. So I have my score for that now. So I'll go back. So to view that, it has created an HTML document for what I have done now. So this, I will check on it. I will double click on it. You will see the score, the current score. This is the current state of our domain. Allow block content. This is the current state. Why is it still blocking? Allow block content now. Let me widen this more. So this is it. Cybersecurity.com. I needed you guys to picture. I would have been so happy to see you guys having something like this in your document. This is my domain, right? Cybersecurity.com health check analysis on date, which is today. This is the engine version. These are the details. So this is my domain risk level at the moment, 51%. So I can improve this, right? It will give you details of everything that which it has measured. Maximum days, tell you the place that you're having rigs and everything. You read through this gradually, you read through this. Then when you read through this, you then get yourself the CIS document and then implement the recommended CIS documents. You see? Interactive user computer, state object, privilege accounts, account token. Like you see all the whole details, you read here. You see? Legend, score 0, no risks identified, but some improvement detected. Few action has been identified. These are just the legends to interpret this. So you read through this, like these are the points which you are now doing cyber security. You are reading now to help you fix things, right? Yeah, so this is a very good one. So once I'm done with this, I've identified it. By the time I implement some hardening process, I will then check this again. And you figure out this score will drop. My risk level, maybe by the time I implement like 2 or 4 control measures, it will drop to what? Can you hear me? Hello, are you with me?
Hello?
Yeah, are you guys with me?
I'm kind of. You guys should stop noise, please.
Yeah, so by the time I do this, you can see the score, the current score. So by the time I do some hardening, it will definitely drop. Yeah, so let's try to complete this. I need to add these clients, and this hardening process will come to it. I need to come back to this. Whoops, something went wrong. What? Okay, good, beautiful. So now it's not giving me options. I wanted to show you guys that maybe because I'm moving from one page to the other, it should have given me option of adding with Microsoft, adding to a domain. But nevertheless, no problem. I will just create this. I will say admin. It should have given me that option. I would have loved you guys to say it. But not a problem. As long as we can achieve what we need. I'll just set this up.
A question. Will this recording be available?
I think it should be.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just doing this setup. All these things you're supposed to take your time to provide real values, but just rushing them. Need to rush them and show you guys. want to show you guys how to add it to the domain. And then I intend actually as well showing you guys my office environment, showing you the cloud, but I'm not sure we'll be able to achieve that again. We have just barely 9 minutes. And
Me myself, I'm already brushing out now for an hour. Fine, but I'm following anyhow so far. But you said you wanted to do the client now. That's what you're trying to do now.
yeah, the clients, that's what I'm doing now. I'm putting it up now. It's just a few minutes, right? So I will then add it to the domain. So you see how to add the clients to the domain for on-prem. And I wanted to as well show you guys how to do that, how to show you the cloud environment for Azure, just to have a view of it. But if Christy should decide to set a class, one more class, that would be nice. At least we can take time to do this and do the hardening as well. Right?
But what will happen is that with what you have taught us now, let's build on that one and then do some research. If we have any challenges, we can call you then. If there's need for a class, we do. But if not, we can just do one-on-one with you.
Okay. Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, let's try then. If we don't have that, then. But let's build on what you have taught us now.
Okay.
Madam Flowet, I know this is a sacrifice for you, but we are your pilot student. You have to bear with us.
Yeah, no
Please.
problem.
Please, yeah, because when we get a job, we can blow up Flowet to anywhere. We will scream it to the
I can't
rooftop.
wait.
We'll
Please, you guys should learn as fast as possible.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is, if you want to help us, I need to actually end this class now. I have another class happening soon and I need to get on the class. And I can't use the same login. So is it possible for you to do a screen recording? You can go through the step on your system and just record the screen for us and send to us, because you're just doing it anyways right now. So just maybe spend another 15 minutes of your time, just if you want to, and just send us the recording for any other step you think we need to follow.
No problem. I will send the recording basically for this adding these clients, right? It's very important to me. I want
Okay.
to be good
because we are not even concentrating now, honestly. We have to rush out with my son now. He's already grumbling.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nede. We'll wait for those recordings. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Madam Flower, thank you. Bro, Chinedu, thank you. Chris, we'll get in touch. Thank you, guys.
I really appreciate everything. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.